And all of us want to know that we're desired. So that's just not a woman trait to want to be desired. I know that men want to be desired intimately, and they want to know that they can win, right? Because if they don't feel like they can win, ladies, they're less likely to want to try. So are you sharing not only the things that you would like differently, but are you sharing the things that you love and enjoy and that you want more of? Welcome, my name is Jessica Lewis. I'm the founder of Rise Up Queens, where I help women step into the freedom that Christ died for. Here on this channel, you will find many topics on physical intimacy, porn and working through that in your marriage, communication, triggers, and so much more. I hope you dive in with me and subscribe and create the best marriage you possibly can with your spouse right now. So in this video, I'd love to challenge you to make love with your spouse, not just intercourse. So you can go through the motions of having physical intimacy. However, you can have this amazing, explosive, passionate love versus intercourse, and you get to choose. And so I know that for some of you, emotional and physical intimacy brings up a lot of anxiety because of your past, because of your upbringing. And I'm going to give you 4 points that could possibly help you in making love, not just intercourse. So first, I would challenge you to start with emotional connection. So it's easy for men to be ready all the time. Most men, some women, right? But it's easy in general for men to just be ready to go all the time. And that's often not how women are. Women are constantly multitasking, have things on their brain, have been doing stuff, they're planning, they're doing stuff, right? And not that men aren't doing stuff, but somehow we just get more distracted with what's going on. And so to start with emotional connection, I have a couple ideas for you. So you could share highs and lows throughout the day. Right? That could be a simple couple-minute experience together where you're sharing your high and sharing your low. And some men get kind of stuck in this emotional connection and say, well, I don't want to just spew all over my wife. I just had a hard day at work and I don't want to rehash all that. I'm not asking you to do that, but can you let her into some of the things you're learning through those hard things? Or you could share maybe what encouraged you from the day or the week and what made you feel defeated throughout the day and the week. Just letting them into what makes you tick, right? Letting them into your triggers, letting them into what you're working through can make a woman feel extremely connected in knowing her husband. Because when a husband comes home and she says, "How was your day, honey?" and he just says, "Good," have you noticed that that's often not good enough? And some of your wives ask questions and keep digging and you're like, oh my gosh, this is so annoying. But what she is doing is she's trying to connect with you, the one dude that gets to meet her emotional needs. And I know that when you meet those emotional needs, she is way likely to meet your physical needs. But if you neglect her emotionally and in the everyday, she will be tense. And that tenseness will more than likely follow into your intimate life. And I'm not saying husbands are solely responsible, but this is a way in, right? And so any of the wives at the Rise Up Queens event know that we go through scripture that says what their responsibility is in intimacy if your husband has a greater need or whoever has the greater need. Another way to connect emotionally, so this is the third way, so highs and lows, encouraged versus defeated, is speaking affirmation, right? Can you affirm your spouse? Lots of people have the need to have their significant other speak blessing over them and speak affirmation over them. And I don't think it happens enough. Like, I personally can remember all the things that aren't going right. Like, I tend to have a mind that is easy to worry. And if that's you, your husband or wife might be missing your positive words. Like, just a game-changing moment for me. Skylar and I were fighting and we were just in it. And when we fight or we get into things, I'm extremely hard on myself. And one of those times he turned to me and said, "Hey, you know that I think you're like super awesome and you're extremely special. And I'm so happy to be married to you." And it was one of those moments where I wasn't expecting it and didn't know it was coming, but it totally shifted my mindset because that was exactly opposite of what I thought he was thinking about me, because it was opposite of what I was thinking about myself. And so your words can speak death and they can speak life over your spouse. So how often are you affirming them? So intimacy is also said in our space, into me you see. So into me you see. So how are you letting your spouse into your thoughts and into you? A couple categories that might help. So this is the fourth way of emotionally connecting, is maybe letting them into your fantasies, or letting them know about your dreams that you have, letting them know about your secrets that you have, if any, letting them know about your fears, letting them into your resentments, or letting them into your goals. So those are all categories and ways that you can let them into who you are, and I guarantee emotional connection will follow. And so when you share that stuff, you can ask them to share also. So one of the things that we discovered was Skylar is less comfortable with emotional intimacy than I am. And on one of our date nights, on Valentine's actually, he was asking all these really deep questions. And almost what it felt like was he kept wanting me to go first. And I felt uncomfortable. I was like, hey, this feels really lopsided. Hey, rather than asking deep, vulnerable questions of me, would you be willing to share your deep stuff or the answer to your question first? And would you lead in vulnerability? So whoever's stronger in that, in the relationship, that might be a great way to start deep emotional connection. So making love, not intercourse, and moving on, right? So in order to do that, emotional connection would help if you do that, right? It doesn't have to happen every time like that, but emotional connection can help. Number two, I would challenge you to move to affection. Sometimes, so many couples we work with say it's just a checkbox, and they're just getting it done. Wives have to get this done, so they do it. But if you move to affection first and not just to get it done and get it over with, like massages and soft touch or kisses, it will go a long way, right? Husbands, I've heard husbands say, well, this is the lovey-dovey stuff, right? I'm not into that lovey-dovey stuff, or I'm not into that romantic stuff. Well, whoever's not into it, hear my words. I bet your spouse needs that stuff. They need the slowness. So whether you're into it or not, I would challenge you to get over yourself, because your spouse needs some warm-up. They might have had a hard day. And so if you're ready to connect right away and they're not, would you be willing to help get them in the mood? Now, at the end of the day, it's their responsibility to be in the mood, but would you be willing to help them? We just got done with a marriage retreat with Rise Up Kings and Rise Up Queens, and one of the couples had shared, and they'd shared before, that when she's not in the mood, she asked for a massage. And her husband knows that maybe it'll work, maybe it won't, but he's willing to give her a massage. And she said, more often than not, I'm always ready afterwards. I just needed a moment to relax and connect and settle down and let go of everything throughout the day, and then I'm ready to connect. And so can you move to affection with each other, whatever that would be, before just kind of getting it done? And then while you're doing it, would you be willing to keep it personal? So that's point number three, keeping it personal. Do you make eye contact? Do you talk to each other? Are you sharing, this is awesome, I love this part when you do this? And then, hey, can you not do that, right? Are you verbal in sharing live, real-time stats on what's going on, right? Because all of us want to win. And all of us want to know that we're desired. So that's just not a woman trait to want to be desired. I know that men want to be desired intimately, and they want to know that they can win, right? Because if they don't feel like they can win, ladies, they're less likely to want to try. So are you sharing not only the things that you would like differently, but are you sharing the things that you love and enjoy and that you want more of? Okay, but really quick, I just want to say out loud for all the ladies out there, husbands, women change. So there's some days where one thing works and then the next day it's completely not going to work. Our bodies have hormones that fluctuate and make things change and things be different. And so you're going to need some fluidity, husbands, and ladies, you're going to have to give yourself permission to say what's going on. So your husband needs words from you so that he knows what to do. Because if not, more than likely, he's going to try and do the same thing. Because if he knows that it works, he knows he can win. But that might not always work for you, or at least it does not work for me. And so keeping it personal with eye contact, you use each other's names, right? And if one of you finishes before the other, are you making sure the other is coming to completion if they desire to, right? Are you staying connected in that moment and finishing? Point number 4 is, are you willing to sit in the afterglow together? Because what I know to be true is if intimacy is hard, immediately after, couples are up and they're done and they're doing their own thing. But that misses this moment of connection that husbands, this moment might not be important for you, right? But I would almost guarantee, or you can ask your wife, is that moment of connection or a couple minutes of connection and laying there together afterwards, is that important to you? Because I know for me, that's extremely important. And the stories I used to make up about Skylar when he didn't take those moments from me and he would just leave and then, okay, we're done, right? Was that, oh, that was just, that was, I don't even have words, but that face that I just did, that's what it felt like, right? It just didn't feel good, right? And it broke the connection and it broke the happy feelings that were happening in that moment versus taking a couple minutes and being willing to sit there completely made all the difference in the world. So my challenge to you is make love, not intercourse. And this could feel like a daunting task, but it can also create more passion, connection, and intimacy, which is what most couples often desire. So if you're in on the challenge, give me a heart in the comments and let me know that you're up for it and you're going to be working on these 4 things. And I would challenge you to share this with your Bible study and share these with your closest friends, because I would imagine that some of you are not talking about how often you're having sex and if your sex is good, but that is one of the number 1 predictors of divorce and number 1 predictors of a happy marriage. So let your friends know that you love them by sharing this video with them. And if you're not subscribed, definitely subscribe.